Hey everyone, welcome back to another deep dive. Today we're tackling something pretty essential for anyone in AI or thinking about getting into AI.
Oh yeah, this is going to be good.
We're going to be breaking down this guide called Essential Soft Skills for AI Professionals, Keys to Ethical and Collaborative Impact. And let me tell you, it's packed with insights that you won't find in your typical, machine learning textbook.
Yeah, I think a lot of people when they think about AI, they think about, the technical side, the algorithms, the coding, all that.
Right, exactly.
But this guide, it really shines a light on something that's often overlooked, the human element of AI.
Totally. It's not just about building AI, it's about using it responsibly and understanding the impact it has on real people.
For sure. It's about, wielding those algorithms ethically and collaboratively.
Absolutely. One of the first things that really jumped out at me in this guide was the emphasis on communication.
Communication.
Yeah. But not just basic communication, right? It's about explaining these complex AI concepts like, neural networks and recommendation engines in a way that anyone can understand.
Yeah, like imagine trying to explain how Netflix recommends movies without using any technical jargon.
Right. Exactly. Like, how would you even begin to explain that to someone who's not, a data scientist?
It's a real challenge.
Yeah, and it's crucial because if you can't explain your work in a way that makes sense to others, it's like having all this incredible AI potential locked away.
Totally. It's about bridging that gap between the technical world and everyone else and, building trust along the way.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with people who might not be, tech savvy.
Right. It's about making AI approachable and understandable.
And it's not just about explaining, it's about presenting your findings in a way that's compelling and engaging.
Yeah. Strong presentation skills are a must.
Think about pitching a new AI solution to stakeholders.
For sure. If you can't get them excited about the possibilities, all your hard work might never see the light of day.
Yeah. You got to be able to articulate the value that your AI brings to the table. And this guide doesn't just focus on speaking, it also stresses the importance of listening.
Active listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so important.
Especially in AI.
I remember reading this case study in the guide about a healthcare company that developed this really sophisticated AI diagnostic tool, but they were so focused on the technical brilliance of it that they kind of forgot about the doctors who would actually be using it.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, the interface was so complex and clunky that it actually slowed the doctors down instead of helping them. They hadn't really listened to the doctor's needs and concerns.
Ouch, that's a painful lesson to learn. It highlights how crucial it is to really understand the needs of the users.
Absolutely. You got to make sure your AI solutions are actually solving real-world problems and not creating new ones.
Exactly. And that brings us to another crucial aspect highlighted in the guide. Teamwork AI isn't a solo sport.
It's a team effort for sure.
It's about bringing together people with diverse skill sets, not just AI experts.
You need designers, marketers, legal professionals, ethicists, even sociologists to really create something impactful.
Imagine you're developing a chatbot for customer service.
Okay, yeah.
You'd need AI expertise to build the conversational engine, but you'd also need designers to create a user-friendly interface.
Right. And you can't forget about the writers who will craft engaging dialogue.
And you definitely need input from actual customer service reps who understand the common questions and pain points that users face.
It's like assembling this dream team of specialists, each with their own unique strengths.
To create something truly amazing.
Exactly.
And this guide really drives home the point that collaboration is at the heart of successful AI development.
It's not just about having all these different experts in the same room, though.
Right.
It's about creating a culture of open communication where everyone feels comfortable sharing their ideas and voicing their concerns.
So like a UX designer should be able to question a data scientist's assumptions about user behavior.
Exactly. Or a legal expert could raise ethical concerns about potential bias in the AI model.
That kind of open dialogue can be incredibly valuable.
It can make or break a project, for sure.
This guide goes beyond just saying teamwork is important. It really delves into the nuances of creating a truly collaborative and productive environment. What I also found fascinating was the emphasis on critical thinking.
Yeah, critical thinking in AI is so crucial.
It's not just about, can we build this AI? It's about, should we build this AI, and how can we build it responsibly?
Exactly. It's not just about the technical feasibility. It's about the ethical implications, too.
For example, let's say you're working on a facial recognition system. You might have a technically brilliant solution, but have you considered the ethical implications?
Right, like what about potential biases in the data set that could lead to discriminatory outcomes?
Or the privacy concerns of collecting and storing all that biometric data.
That's a lot to think about.
Yeah, it makes you realize that AI professionals have a huge responsibility to consider the broader societal impact of their work.
Absolutely. It's not just about writing code, it's about shaping the future.
And to do that effectively, we need to equip ourselves not only with technical skills, but with a strong ethical compass as well.
Completely agree. This guide really highlights how ethical development isn't just a nice to have, it's a fundamental responsibility.
We've talked about communication, teamwork, and critical thinking. And there's another skill that's absolutely essential in the fast-paced world of AI, right?
Or you're talking about adaptability.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The field of AI is constantly evolving.
New technologies and approaches are popping up all the time. It's like trying to hit a moving target.
Yeah, it's like you finally master one framework and then boom, something new comes along.
Exactly. Remember when everyone was all about convolutional neural networks for image recognition? Then transformers came along and totally revolutionized the field.
You got to be a lifelong learner in this field, constantly updating your knowledge and skills.
Absolutely. You can't just stick with one tool or framework forever. You got to be open to new ideas.
What if you're working on a natural language processing project using a traditional recurrent neural network? And then a new research paper comes out showing that transformers perform way better on similar tasks.
Are you going to be stubborn and stick with your old approach, or are you going to embrace the potential of this new technology?
It's about being flexible and adaptable.
Exactly. And that adaptability extends to the AI projects themselves, too.
Right, because they can be incredibly complex.
With shifting requirements and all sorts of unexpected challenges, you got to be able to pivot, adjust your strategy, and find creative solutions.
You got to be a problem solver.
For sure.
This guide really emphasizes the importance of being a versatile and adaptable AI professional.
It's not just about mastering one skill or tool. It's about being able to navigate the ever-changing landscape of AI.
I'm already starting to see how these soft skills are all interconnected.
Oh yeah, they all work together.
And how they complement the technical expertise.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
I know, right? There's so much more to explore.
This guide goes even deeper into the essential soft skills for AI professionals. We'll be talking about empathy, creativity, leadership, and more.
Well, I'm definitely ready to dive deeper into this treasure trove of AI wisdom. We'll be back with more insights from essential soft skills for AI professionals after a quick break. Stay tuned.
Be right back.
We're back and ready to uncover more gems from this guide. You know, one thing I'm really curious about is the soft skills that might not be so obvious when we think about a technical field like AI.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about this guide. It really challenges those assumptions. We've already talked about communication, teamwork, critical thinking, adaptability. But there's another layer that's super important, especially as AI projects get more complex and larger scale. And that's leadership.
So it's not just about being like a brilliant individual coder.
Yeah.
You need to be able to lead a team too, especially when you're dealing with all the unknowns of AI development.
Right. On AI leadership, it's not just about being a tech whiz. It's about creating a shared vision, getting your team pumped to reach their full potential and being able to handle challenges with resilience and a positive attitude.
So what makes a great AI leader? Is it just about knowing the tech inside and out?
Well, technical knowledge definitely helps, but it's not the only thing. Think about those times when an AI model just isn't performing like you expected or a project hits a major roadblock. That's when you really need strong leadership. Someone who can rally the team, keep spirits high, and find creative ways to overcome those obstacles.
They're like the captain of a ship navigating through a storm, making sure everyone stays focused and motivated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just like a captain needs a clear destination, a good AI leader needs strategic vision. They have to see how their team's work fits into the big picture of the organization's goals and how to steer the project in the right direction.
So AI leadership, it's not just about the tech. It's about being a visionary, a motivator, and a problem solver.
Sure.
What other unexpected skills does this guide talk about?
Well, here's one that might surprise you. Negotiation and diplomacy.
Really, I wouldn't have thought of diplomacy as being important in such a technical field.
It might seem kind of out of place. But AI projects usually involve a whole bunch of stakeholders. Engineers, designers, product managers, clients, even regulatory bodies. And they often have different priorities, different expectations, and different levels of understanding when it comes to AI.
So you need to be able to navigate all those different perspectives and find some common ground.
Precisely. It's about clear communication, of course.
No.
But it's also about negotiating realistic timelines,
Yeah.
managing expectations, and finding compromises when conflicts come up.
I can imagine there could be some tension between, say, a business team that wants to launch a product ASAP and an engineering team that needs more time to make sure the AI is solid and reliable.
Absolutely. That's where those diplomacy skills come in handy. It's about advocating for your team's needs while still respecting everyone else's point of view and finding a solution that works for everyone.
Sounds like being an effective AI leader requires this delicate balance of technical know-how, strategic vision, and people skills. What else does this guide emphasize?
Another crucial aspect that's gaining more and more importance is cultural awareness and inclusion.
Definitely, AI is becoming more integrated into our lives, so we got to make sure it's developed and used in a way that benefits everyone, not just select few.
Right. We need to be aware of the different cultural and social contexts where AI is being used. For example, let's say you're building a natural language processing model for a chatbot that's going to be used in several countries. You have to consider the nuances of different languages, dialects, and cultural norms to make sure the chatbot works well for everyone.
So it's not just about translating the words, it's about understanding the cultural context and adapting the AI accordingly.
Exactly. And it goes beyond language, too.
Yeah.
We need to think about how AI might impact different communities and groups differently. For instance, a facial recognition system that's trained on a data set that's not very diverse could end up being biased and unfairly affecting certain groups.
That's a critical point. We need to be intentional about designing and using AI in a way that promotes fairness and equity. And this guide does a fantastic job of highlighting these ethical considerations.
And it also stresses another skill that I think is often overlooked, but super essential, especially in a field as complex and fast-changing as AI. The ability to navigate the unknown.
That's an interesting one. What does it mean to navigate the unknown when we're talking about AI?
Well, think about it. AI is constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible. We're always exploring new algorithms, new applications, new frontiers. And with all that exploration comes a certain degree of uncertainty.
So it's about being okay with not having all the answers right from the start.
Exactly. In traditional software development, you usually have a clear roadmap and set of requirements. But with AI, things are rarely that straightforward. You might start with a hypothesis, but the data could take you in a whole different direction. You might need to iterate, experiment, and even change your whole approach based on what you discover along the way.
Sounds like you need a high tolerance for ambiguity and a willingness to embrace the unknown.
Absolutely. It's not just about being comfortable with uncertainty, though. It's about having the judgment and decision-making skills to handle it effectively. You might not have all the data you need to make a perfect decision, but you still need to make a decision based on what you do know and be ready to adjust course as you learn more.
It's about being decisive, yet adaptable and responsive to new information. So in a way, navigating the unknown is about being both a visionary explorer and a pragmatic problem solver.
That's a great way to put it. And it's a skill that's becoming more and more valuable as AI continues to evolve and disrupt all kinds of industries.
This guide is really making me think differently about what it takes to be successful in AI. It's not just about technical brilliance. It's about having this whole set of skills that help you understand and work with people.
I totally agree. And as AI becomes even more integrated into our lives, these soft skills will be even more critical.
This has been such an insightful conversation. We've learned so much about the unexpected but essential soft skills for AI professionals, and we're not done yet. This guide has a whole section on practical strategies for developing these skills.
That's right. Let's take a quick break and then come back to explore those strategies.
We've covered so much ground exploring these kind of surprising soft skills for people in AI, but this guide isn't just theoretical, right? It actually gives some practical tips for how to build these skills. Where do we even start?
You know, it's funny. A lot of these skills, they're not something you learn in a classroom or a coding boot camp. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guide actually recommends looking for opportunities to work on teams with people from different backgrounds.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're working with designers, marketers, ethicists, you're going to have to learn to communicate effectively and consider different perspectives.
Exactly. It's like teamwork in real life, not just something you read about in a textbook. And the guide also suggests taking courses or workshops that focus specifically on things like communication or leadership.
So even if it doesn't involve coding, it's still worth putting in the time to develop these soft skills.
Absolutely. Think of it this way. Your technical skills are like the engine of a car, but your soft skills, they're the steering wheel and the brakes. You might have a powerful engine, but if you can't steer or stop, you're not going to get very far. And you might even cause some damage along the way.
I love that analogy. It really shows how important those soft skills are for navigating the world of AI. Are there any other tips the guide gives for building these skills?
Yeah, mentorship can be super helpful. Finding someone who's already successful in the field, someone who has that balance of technical and soft skills you're looking for, and then learning from their experience can make a huge difference.
So it's like finding a mentor, a guide, someone who can help you through the ups and downs of an AI career.
Exactly. A mentor can give you advice, feedback, and even open doors to new opportunities. But beyond formal learning and mentorship, there are also things you can do on your own to cultivate these soft skills.
Like what are some everyday things we can do to become better communicators, better collaborators, better leaders in AI?
One of the most powerful things you can do is practice empathy. Really try to listen to your colleagues, your clients, the people who are actually using the AI systems you're creating. Step outside of your technical bubble and try to understand their needs, their worries, what they're thinking.
It's about remembering that AI isn't just about algorithms and data, it's about people.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask questions, to double-check things, to challenge assumptions. The more you understand the people you're designing for, the better. You'll be creating AI solutions that are both technically brilliant and truly impactful.
This guide has been a real eye-opener. It's made me rethink what it means to be successful in AI. It's not just about being technically amazing, it's about being a well-rounded, ethical, and human-centered person.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Mhm.
And as AI keeps evolving and becoming more and more a part of our lives, these soft skills are only going to become more important.
So if you're passionate about AI and want to make a real difference in the world, don't underestimate those soft skills. Embrace communication, collaboration, empathy, critical thinking, adaptability, and above all, a strong sense of ethics.
And never stop learning, growing, challenging yourself to push the limits of what AI can do. But always remember to keep human values at the forefront.
This deep dive has given us a lot to think about. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time for another exciting deep dive into the world of AI.